Unlike when Kim and Putin in Russia met 4 years ago, now there's a war going on in Ukraine. Washington warns against any possible arms deal between North Korea and Russia. Our foreign affairs correspondent Bae Eun-ji explains what this could mean for geopolitics.
Just like his first trip to Russia in 2019, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un chose to travel by rail using his personal armored train to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. But the war in Ukraine has turned the tables and things have changed since their last summit 4 years ago. The meeting in April 2019 took place just 2 months after the nuclear summit between Kim and former US President Donald Trump ended in failure without an agreement. North Korea was desperately looking for a diplomatic lifeline, as it had been under UN sanctions for its nuclear and ballistic missile program since 2006. But now it is Putin who's reaching out to Kim for help, as Russia is completely isolated on the global stage and it needs weapons for the war in Ukraine. Also, unlike in 2019, Kim was joined by his top 2 military officials, Lee Byung-chul and Park Jong-chun, which implies that their talks will likely be focused on the military front. He was also joined by Park Tae-sung and Kim Myung-sik, key officials in charge of securing technologies needed for the regime's satellites and nuclear-powered submarines, as well as Cho Chun-yong, the director of the Munitions Industry Department, who assisted Kim during his recent visits to a munitions factory and missile plant. During his 12 years in power, Kim rarely made foreign trips, and the closer bond between North Korea and Russia appears to have been driven by Putin's need for weapons and Kim's efforts to break out of diplomatic isolation to form a united front against the West. Amid concerns that this could possibly extend the Ukraine war, the U.S. State Department said Monday local time that it will not hesitate to impose sanctions. It warned both countries that any transfer of arms from North Korea to Russia would be in violation of multiple UN Security Council resolutions.
And we, of course, have aggressively enforced our sanctions against entities that fund Russia's war effort, and we will continue to enforce those sanctions and will not hesitate to impose new sanctions if appropriate.
Washington also urged the North to abide by its public commitment not to provide or sell weapons to Russia. In November last year, North Korea said it has never had arms dealings with Russia and has no plans to do so in the future. Bae Eun-ji, Arirang News.